Hi everyone, today I'll be going through the SI prefixes and the SI base quantities. So these SI prefix and quantities are a set of standard units and base units and quantities that people around the world use, because obviously if you're collaborating with different people around the world, everyone should use the same unit to make it more simpler to collaborate. So if we look at the prefixes over here, these are all the prefixes that we need to know. So keep in mind that some of them are capital letters. So if we have a look at all of these brackets here, these are the symbols that are used to connote all these units over here, the prefixes, and here I've put to what power they actually are. So if we start from the top, we see that tera is capital T and it's 10 to the power of 12. Giga is a big G and it's 10 to the power of 9. Mega is a capital M, 10 to the power of 6. Kilo is a small lowercase k, 10 to the power of 3. Deci, lowercase d, 10 to the power of minus 1. Centi, lowercase c, 10 to the power of minus 2. We've got some more down here. So we've got milli, which is lowercase m, 10 to the power of minus 3. We have micro, which they use mu or mi, whichever one you want to call it. They use that symbol and it's 10 to the power of minus 6. You have nano, which is a small n, and it's 10 to the power of minus 9. And we have pico, which is lowercase p, and 10 to the power of minus 12. So there are more, so if you keep on going, you have smaller ones here, so femto, and if you carry on going, you have more. But for the purpose of this AS level of physics, you only need to know from tera up to pico. The SI base quantities are the quantities here, so if you're measuring anything from this list of different variables over here, you'd have to always use these units. So if you're measuring mass, you'd use kilograms. If you're measuring length, you use meters. If you're measuring time, you use seconds. If you're measuring current, you use amps. If you're measuring temperature, you use Kelvin. And if you're measuring the amount of substance, you use mole. There are obviously more than this many SI base quantities, but for the purpose of this exam, you don't need to know any more. Now, when would we get to actually use these base quantities and prefixes? So let's say they asked you to work out a mass of a certain object in the exam, and you worked out 3 times 10 to the 6 kilograms. Now, leaving a standard form in there times 10 to the 6 isn't really pleasing. So if we have our table and we have a look at it, we can see that here 10 to the 6 is mega, 10 to the 6 is a capital M. So instead of leaving it as 10 to the power of 6, we can use a capital M instead. So if we have a look back here, 10 to the power of 6, we can convert it as M. So instead of writing 3 times 10 to the 6 kilograms, you can write 3 megakilograms. Now, mega and kilo together, not a very good idea as well. It is right, but I don't advise doing it like that. So we know that mega is 10 to the 6, and kilo is 10 to the 3. So if you multiply them together, because here you're multiplying m and k together, you get 10 to the power of 6 times 10 to the power of 3. You add up the powers, so it becomes 10 to the power of 9. So instead of writing 3 megakilograms, 10 to the power of 9 we know from his table is giga. So instead we can write 3 gigagrams. I know that looks a bit weird, but most of the time you're going to have lots of different units at the end of it. Let's look at another example. So let's say they ask you to work out a current of something. So let's say you worked out 6 times 10 to the minus 3 amps. Now, instead of writing 10 to the minus 3, we know that there's another unit in the table that has 10 to the minus 3. So if we have a look here, 10 to the minus 3 is milli, which is represented by a small m. So instead of leaving it as 10 to the minus 3, you can go back here and change 10 to the minus 3 into a small m, which represents milli. So in the end we get an answer of 6 milliamps. So there you have it. This is everything to do with the SI units. So you have all the prefixes here. So you need to only know from tera up to pico. Femto isn't really needed right now, so you don't really have to take regard to that. So it's everything from tera all the way up to pico. And base units, you need to know all these ones over here. Please bear in mind that whenever you're doing a question, make sure that the information they give you is in one of these forms. Sometimes in questions, they can give you, let's say, a mass in grams, or time in minutes or hours, or length in centimeters. These things you need to make sure you keep in mind, because when you're doing questions, if you don't put them in SI units, normally you'll get them wrong. In regards to these prefixes, please make sure that you're always trying to simplify. So let's say questions like this that I showed you before. Whenever you see something 10 to the power of something, try and see how you can use these and manipulate them to simplify the answers that you get, because lots of the time the examiners and the mark schemes, they always sometimes give marks for changing the actual power into the simplest form. So this is the simplest form over here. I hope you all liked that video. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Please comment down below what topics you guys want, and then I'll make videos on that. See you guys later. Bye.